Hey everyone, Ross McCorkle here with another episode of the Depot 180. Pittsburgh Steelers put together their most impressive win of the year against the Detroit Lions on the road against a team that needed to win to stay alive in the playoffs. While not technically eliminated, they are pretty much done for the year unless several things go their way, thus making it a very impressive win for the Steelers. It was a hostile environment and they managed to win 29-25. Similar to a week ago against the Dolphins, it was a complete team win. It was a very slow start to the game, but that was actually a good sign for a defense that was going against the number one scoring offense in the league. They held the Lions to just 10 points in the first half, including 0 points in the first quarter, and the offense did just enough to pull things back to even by halftime, 10-10, and that came with a incredible catch by Kenneth Gainwell. Aaron Rodgers told him to go out, run a go route, and he did. He caught the ball while getting interfered, while falling to the ground, got up untouched, and ran into the end zone for 7. That was the momentum that the Steelers needed to battle their way through for a win once again, holding a team to negative yards in the third quarter, just like they did against the Dolphins the week prior. Yeah, the Lions did come back and scored 14 points in the fourth quarter to make it an interesting game, but by and large, the defense did its job holding the Lions to 24 points. That's 7 fewer than their season average. There's still some things the defense could work on. Of course, there were a few dropped interceptions that really could have put the game out of reach for the Lions. They did allow them to come back and make it interesting. It came down to a final play in which there was a referee bonanza, several interesting calls. They didn't call forward progress. They called it a touchdown, but offensive pass interference wiped out the touchdown and ended the game right then and there. The other interesting thing that happened in that game, wide receiver DK Metcalf, during a TV timeout, went over to the stands, the front row, where a fan was heckling him, and he got physical with him. I don't want to say he punched him, but he did put his hands on him, no doubt. It was an altercation, and that has resulted in a 2-game suspension for DK Metcalf. He is appealing that suspension. Mike Tomlin said he doesn't condone that type of behavior, but he does support DK Metcalf. There's allegations that potentially some racial slurs were used, and on the other side, the fans claiming all he did was say Metcalf's legal name, DeKalin. It's turned into a bit of a he said, she said, but Metcalf does have on his side the fact that this fan apparently had a history with him from last year that Metcalf complained to NFL security about. We will see if his appeal helps at all, at least reduces that to 1 game. The Steelers haven't technically locked up a playoff spot yet, but they could by the time they kick off on Sunday against the Cleveland Browns. That is if the Baltimore Ravens lose or tie to the Green Bay Packers on Saturday night. If that happens, then of course DK Metcalf's suspension isn't a huge deal, other than the fact that it does void his guarantees, $45 million of them, in the most recent contract extension he worked out with the Steelers. That could come into play later down the road, no doubt. The Steelers have a potential out in that massive contract they gave him. Let me know how you enjoyed the video on Twitter at Ross_McCorkle, and as always, visit SteelersDepot.com for your latest and greatest Steelers breaking news and analysis.